Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where real estate meets real life skills. Hosted by Andrea Lane and Alyssa Bicar, each episode features investors turning their unique edge into long-term rental success.
Hello and welcome again to the Built for This podcast. I am your co-host, Alyssa Bicar, the consultress, here with my partner in crime, Andrea Lane, known as the Fearless Real Estate Investor. We are just two ladies walking the road of real estate investment as a business, as a way to create legacy, but also to engage yourself in business at large. So we interview real people bringing their real estate portfolio and their business sense to the table, and we explore how that's being built. So Andrea, who do we have for him today?
So today we have Austin Spitzenberger. Hope I said that right. Cool. Austin is from Central Texas. He actually owns a single family as well as a vacation rental. In addition, he also runs a property management company specifically for vacation rentals. So Austin, I'm very excited to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. And hopefully I can give a little different perspective to your audience, right? Because I've listened to y'all's episodes and you have some great value that you guys are adding to your listeners. And it's a lot of buy and hold and stuff like that, which is stuff I definitely want to get to later on down the road. But hopefully I can be a voice of kind of the short-term rental space and stuff like that. But either way, I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you. So I always ask my first question, why'd you get into real estate?
Oh, this is a good one. I would say because I qualified for a loan that they would allow me to get a house, and it was like 3 to 5% down, and I think it came out to like $10,000, and it was a house that I could get as an owner. I could get the conventional loan, live in it for a year or two. So really, it became my primary residence until I was like, okay. I checked the box. I got it in maybe like 5 years ago. So it was a time when people were telling me like, oh, don't do that. That's risky. But I mean, depend on who you talk to. That's always their answer for everything. Right. So I got a 2.5% interest rate on the house, lived in it for a few years, turned it into a long-term rental. And now I just hold it. And, it was a new build. So the maintenance wasn't too much. I mean, it doesn't cash flow amazingly, but it's a great new build house that I can do that. So that's kind of how I got into it. And why I got into it is just honestly the same reason you guys are doing this, is to share, how to build wealth. And my main thing was just building wealth for a long period of time, leveraging the bank's money for somebody else to pay off the asset, and just kind of month by month, just kind of really playing the long game.
I love that even though the cash flow isn't as high as you'd like, you're not getting rid of property. The only properties I'm ever sorry about are the ones I didn't buy or the ones I sold. That's it. I know that any long-term property I own has appreciated tremendously, and it only grows in value over time. So that's a great way to build your business. So what do you love most about it?
It's for my long-term rental specifically, I like most about it because it's only one unit and it doesn't involve me anytime, and it's a new build. So and I've got a good tenant. So for the most part, it's funny because I own a vacation rental management company where we manage 65 luxury homes, but I paid someone else to screen the tenant to put in that house because I didn't want to take the time to learn how to do it and then mess it up. So I paid somebody that was a professional to do it. And they're like, dude, don't you own a property management company? Like, why are you doing this? I'm like, it's not the same thing managing a short-term rental asset than it is a long-term rental asset. And I understood that. So I was like, let me pay somebody else that's taken all the punches already, because that $800 or whatever I paid them to successfully screen the tenant would cost me a lot more money if I got a bad tenant and had a vacancy for 3 to 5 months. And all of that adds up. I'm like, okay, let's just check the box. I don't want to learn how to do this. Somebody else knows. Let's get them to do it.
That's so true. And the other thing you need to know and understand is fair housing laws, right? If you were to do something against them because you just didn't know the law, it's in your pocket. So that's a great thing that you looked for someone. Go ahead, Alyssa.
And what I want to highlight here is that you were able to see the business difference between those strategies. You were like, okay, this is a different animal. Horse, zebra, not the same animal. So it's prudent. So I would love to hear about how owning a property management company for vacation rentals has informed or aided you in your long-term rental strategies?
Yeah, I think it's also another good point at the end of the day, like vacation rental guests, people are intimidated. Like, what happens with this? What happens if they throw a party? Right. Those are all things. We screen the best guests to the best of our ability. But those are all things that can happen. But at the end of the day, the short-term rental guest leaves. Right. So that weekend stay comes to an end. So then you have a long-term tenant, so it's high risk and stuff like that. Really, honestly, it's kind of like for me, everything translates over into the numbers. So when I'm running like projections for what a vacation rental property could do, it will gross this much, helping owners run a P&L. If they're an investor, they often don't know how vacation rentals work. So being that business contact point of like whether they work for us or not, I can at least help you analyze the numbers and look at what your short-term rental investment could look like. And I think that kind of translates into my buy and hold strategy because really it's taught me how to analyze deals and run numbers. Now, I don't think the math on running like a long-term rental, I'm not familiar with multifamily or anything like that, maybe one of these days, but just running like a simple long-term rental pro forma is not very hard. And I think being able to do this for the short-term rental space specifically makes that a lot easier. So if I was going to buy another long-term rental asset, I don't think it would be very difficult from like running the numbers perspective, if that makes sense. So a lot of the math kind of translates over.
Yeah, the math is so important, right? You make all your money in your buy. People think
Mhm.
you don't. In rentals, you have a little bit of leeway, but you don't have any leeway when you're buying for flipping or wholesaling. So the numbers are really important. I like that you put that as in perspective. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, um, what's your biggest challenge in being in this space?
Hmm. I guess the biggest challenge is, for the most part, from a vacation rental manager perspective. I don't think it's necessarily doing a good job at what we do. I think the hard part is balancing expectations between guest tenants and owners. It's very difficult having to be the middleman where you're trying to please a guest, but also trying to please the owner. I think that's challenging. And then another challenge that we've kind of faced over the years in our business is we only kind of manage one asset class. We only manage high-end luxury vacation rental properties. So we don't do like a lot of property managers do, where we just do volume and we manage everything that comes our way. We say no to 90% of people that want to work with us. And it's not us being arrogant or anything like that. We are just specific to one asset class and we focus all of our attention on the property. So instead of playing the volume game where quality kind of starts to suffer, we're able to pour all of our attention into properties that are very high standard and meet our standards and expectations. So I think one of the challenges was niching down. We didn't know at first, and we took on a lot of properties doing that. And then we realized, hey, let's specialize into being a luxury vacation rental manager and only manage properties that say gross over 100K in gross revenue, right? Waterfront, pools, places where you can go and have an experience with your family, places with like mini putt golf, all these cool features that actually create an experience over a vacation. So I think the challenge was kind of niching down and pivoting and establishing ourselves as, hey, this is specifically what we do. And we've done a great job of doing that. But the transition of that is obviously challenging, right?
I love it. I love it. My belief is one shiny star, and you are following it to a T. It's what makes you better than anyone else in the marketplace. Go
I
ahead.
think
Sorry,
another
Liz,
thing,
that's neat.
Yeah, and
yeah, and
also,
it's go ahead.
yeah, that's
Sorry.
okay. So also what I heard is saying no is really, really, really important. So there's all this opportunity. You could serve all these people, and I don't want to leave anybody out. And this mindset of like, I need to serve everybody is often what gets business owners in trouble. It's often what throws people off of that one North Star doing something extremely well. And I love what you've said about like, we did that We figured out what actually really worked for us, and then we dialed into it. We leaned into it. We said no to everything else. So just from a business evolutionary perspective for entrepreneurs, like that is one of the key pivot moments in any of your business endeavors, to figure out what to say no to now and what to say no to next. And it's not no forever. It's just no, not right now. I need to focus. Really.
Right. And one thing I like about exactly what you said is there's a point where you have to learn that. But like in your beginning stages, if I went into it saying no to everything, well, I wouldn't have anything to go off of. How am I going to learn this skill set of managing other people's property if I don't get some reps in one way or another? So in the beginning phase of entrepreneurship, you really have to be open-minded, and you've got to say yes to everything to get your practice and reps in. And then once you hone in on your skill set, that's when you can kind of become a little more specialized. And that's what's happened. So while I absolutely agree with you, I do think in the beginning stages, you have to be more open to these things. But to your point, exactly, if you don't eventually learn how to say no, you're going to be your own bottleneck in your business, right? So that was the challenge, to answer your question.
We have different property managers for different levels of properties. Like the people who manage Section 8 well are not necessarily the ones who are going to manage a different grade of property. So it's really important to know that. And you're right, at a business level, as a property manager, it's important. As a real estate investor, you only start with one. You shouldn't go in thinking you're going to do it all, because you're not going to do anything effectively. My opinion.
Yeah, exactly. What is y'all's thoughts on that, and like in your investment strategy? And I know you guys are conducting the interview, so sorry to turn it around on you. But what do you guys think about kind of like niching down? Do you guys think, like, if you're a real estate investor, should I be the specialized guy that buy and hold single family homes, or should I be the multifamily guy? Is it good to have a mixed portfolio? Just for my own education, what do y'all think?
When you're starting whatever it is you want to do for 6 months to a year, that's all you do. So if you want to go into single family, that's what you go into. And then once you understand how that marketplace works, then start thinking about something else you might want to do. Now, normally people start with one single family home, like you did, and then decide, well, you decided on vacation rentals. Others go to multifamilies, or they go to apartment buildings. Great. Make sure you understand one place to begin with. If you want to do flips, don't go looking at flips and wholesaling and buy and hold. You're not going to do anything successfully.
And then one thing I'll pivot on that is to like, here's another thing. If you're hyper focused on one thing, so my thing is all in on vacation rentals. I'm going to be the point of contact for all my friends in my network when they have questions regarding their vacation rentals. Whether it gives me business or not, that's not my concern. My concern is to help as many people as I possibly can. But with that being said, I'm going to have buddies that are really, really good at wholesaling, really, really good at flipping. So I don't have to be the subject matter expert on those things. I just need the people in my network that can serve me. So whenever I do have to do something like that, it's like, hey, let's partner on this. Or I have the deal, you be the source of knowledge. Let's figure out how to make money together. Therefore, I don't have to be a halfway expert on 7 different things. What is the master jack of whatever the quote I'm saying, and I'm going to butcher it. But
jack of all trades, master of none.
That's why I have you guys here to help me to fill in the blanks. But that's what I was trying to get at.
Well, listen,
I'd rather just be the master.
I love it.
I grew up with a dad who his first English was not his first language, so he used to butcher all sorts of colloquialisms. And I just heard in my mind's eye, he was like, a jackass with all the trade. No. Oh.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. That's so funny.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Yeah. It's so true. Real estate is a people business, right? I say this probably on every single episode at some point. It's not about houses. It's not about property. It's about people. And so having the relationships and building them is so key. When you get into real estate, in my opinion, you need knowledge. You need to have an understanding. You need a network. And if you don't have it, don't bother. And you need to take action. Because if you don't do those 3 things, you can get stuck. You may have all the knowledge and have a great network and get stuck in analysis paralysis. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Alyssa, and the ongoing partnership. I think you've kind of identified people in your market space that can help you tactically in your deals that you're building boots on the ground. And for us, something that I learned over the last 15 years was creating a consistent place for me to build knowledge and also be of service to people in other areas so I could continue to grow my knowledge base and also compare markets. What are you doing with single family rentals over here? Oh, you're doing the BRRRR strategy and you're just buying turnkey. And so it helped me to inform not only what I was doing and to have partnerships with people on the ground, but also to have a, nationwide network of people who know different things, who can provide different perspectives, because what our blind spots are, we can never identify for ourselves.
Yeah, I love it. You got to network, you got to learn from other people. And the only thing on that is like, especially when you're first getting started, my only tidbit is like, lean into helping and serving other people first instead of going to events with this mindset of like, hey, what can I take from here? What can I take from other people? It's like, help these people first as much as you can, and it's going to eventually come back around. So that's what's worked for me as well. I try not to ask for things. I try to just help as many people, and then they remember the fact that like, hey, Austin helped me along the way, and eventually at some point or another, it might come back around that way. And I think that's the way to do it. And then I love how you touched on the taking action part of it. I just see so many people that are sitting there at their computer running numbers all day long, all day long, all day long, and then years go by and they've never done anything. And that's the hard part for people to realize is you have to get out of your own way and you have to go do it, because the real education and the real learning comes from doing. So the big scarcity thing of like, oh, what if I lose money? What if you lose money? Go lose the money. That's okay. You're supposed to do that. That sounds irresponsible, but at the same time, if you never get started, you're never going to learn. So part of the process is you may have to lose a little money up front, but that's the cost of your education to doing this. So if you're sitting there crunching numbers all day long, get out of that and get into the game. That's my tidbit there.
Yeah. So what I find is people aren't so concerned about losing money. I mean, that may be in the back of their head, but what they do the numbers and they're like, the numbers don't work. And I'm like, well, make an offer. Like they just run numbers. They sit at their computer, they run numbers. So taking action means you make 10, 20 offers a week. You will find a deal. I don't care what neighborhood you're in, right? But you have to take the action. So
right on.
I love it. Yep.
Yeah. So it seems like you put together a nice portfolio for yourself, and that's kind of your long-term thing. Are you satisfied with keeping it the one or two doors, or is that something you're looking to grow over the long term?
I think so. Right now, I'm good with what I'm set at. I'm not really aggressively going for deals or looking for anything like that. My main focus is building up the equity in my business and building up the cash flow, making us more and more profitable. So I'm hyper focused on growing a profitable business and making more money through my business. And those opportunities to buy real estate later will come. And I plan to leverage the vacation rental model continue. So when the time comes and I can buy more vacation rental assets, later on down the road, I want to buy, more of like kind of what you would call like super properties, like properties that are really expensive, but the nightly rate for these vacation rentals is very, very expensive. So I want to continue to own the assets that we manage, because it's like we talked about earlier. It's what I know. I eat, sleep, and breathe this luxury vacation rental stuff. So once that money comes in, then I will buy more of those assets. So I hope that answers your question. But for now, I mean, I'm good with my one long-term rental, my one vacation rental, and then I have my primary home, which I'll also turn into a long-term rental at some point when that day comes as well. So yeah, that's it.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like you've got a wealth of knowledge and you're really dialed in on what you're building and exactly how it flows. So again, on the Built for This podcast, we love to highlight real people with their real strategies. There are people who are multi-bazillionaires jumping out of airplanes, and then there's people who are quietly doing the right thing, like your millionaire next door, who's building brick by brick and making sure that their life is in balance while they're building. So Austin, I just wanted to like high five you, because it feels like, sounds like, smells like you have all this stuff really dialed in and you're doing a fantastic job, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So as we're wrapping up our interview, just what exciting initiatives do you have coming up in the next 6 to 12 months?
Let's see. Exciting initiatives that we have in 6 to 12 months. I would think that, in personal life, I'm a dad, so I have a baby of 6 months old. So I think that's really cool. and that's kind of in my personal life, just becoming a dad and learning that journey. And he's just the coolest little thing. He's gotten to a point where he's smiling at me all the time, and he makes me think that I'm funnier than I actually am. So he gives me the confidence because everything I do, he laughs at. So I'm going to be enjoying that over the next year. And then honestly, from a business perspective, which is not necessarily as important to me, but just onboarding some of the properties that we have coming up, I'm super excited about. We have some clients coming on that have some really amazing properties. It's going to be a great financial move for our business. And it's also going to be like, hey, we're able to help these people coming from a not so great property manager to somebody that we can really service. So I'm excited about that. I think that pretty much is what I'm excited about right now.
Beautiful. I mean,
Great.
we love hearing the family stories. I mean, that to me, it's the reason why I got involved in real estate to begin with. I thought I had no time when I was single. Then I, got coupled up and, oh, wait, I actually really don't have time. And then you have kids and it's like, wow, man, I need to prioritize and really focus on what's going to move the needle the most and let everything else go. And so I think we've learned a lot here. Anything you would add, Andrea, before we start to
Well,
wrap
I
up?
really appreciate Austin, and I love the way you package things, and your knowledge is really incredible. It's not often I hear investors that are so focused and so um, defined. So I love it.
Right on.
Thank you.
Yeah. So where can people go to find out more about what you're up to in your business life and what you're offering for the world?
Sure. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Austin Spitzenberger. Also, same name on Facebook. I'm big on Facebook. That works too. If you have any questions regarding vacation rentals, just feel free to holler at me. I'm happy to just be a resource. Also, we have a podcast as well. It's called the Co-Host Bros, but we're specifically talking kind of how to build a boutique property management company. So not necessarily so much on the real estate investing part of it, but if you're interested in vacation rentals, check out the Co-Host Bros show. And yeah, I think that those are some good ways to find me.
Beautiful.
Great.
Excellent. We have had such a good time here today. And as the show rolls on here, we are so sad to see you go. But we know that you are up to really great things. And we can't wait to stay in touch as you move along your journey. So for those of you listening on the broadcast on one of our streaming platforms, stay right there. We have an amazing guest lined up for you right after this. Don't go away. Austin, thanks a million.
This wraps another episode of Built for This. If you're a real estate investor with a unique edge, apply to join us at builtforthisshow.com/guest.